Greetings. This is the collective reading for Scorpio season 2025. My name is Carolyn Ulrich. I'm an intuitive medium, tarot reader, and channel with Empowered Healing KC. And the way that this reading works is that it's broken up into 4 sections by zodiac elements. So the different elements are air, earth, water, and fire. And then with each of those elements, you have 3 different signs. So for air, we have our Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. For water, we have Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. For fire, we have Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And then for earth, we have Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So this will be broken up into 4 different sections, like I said, by element. You can listen to the entire thing and simply take any message that resonates with you. You can listen specifically for your sun sign. Always listen for your rising sign as well. You can pick any part of your chart and see what sign that is in and apply this to whatever that part of your chart represents. Maybe it's money, home life, work, relationships. However you want to listen to this, you can. If you came across this video in general, there's probably a message in there for you. So just take what you want and leave the rest. All right. Okay, we are starting off with air signs for your Scorpio season readings. So we have air signs that are Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So your card for Scorpio season is the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So aces are about new beginnings. Pentacles is earth energy. So earth energy is that Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. Earth energy in Pentacles is about root chakra. It's about the groundedness. It's about abundance. It's about home life. It's about safety. It's about security. Aces are about new beginnings. I want you to look at what's happening in this picture. This person is literally holding this seed, a new beginning, and they're nurturing it and sending it love and allowing the roots to grow. They're allowing the roots to grow before they have planted it, right? So Scorpio season is about destruction. That is what Scorpio is about. But for you, air signs, it's not a time of upheaval. It's not a time of transformation. It's not a time of shedding. It's actually a time of stillness for you and a time to be nurturing the small seeds that you have already planted. I'm not even getting the idea that you should be planting new seeds. It's more this idea of where have you already placed your energy? What projects have you already started? What relationships have you already started to nurture? These little seeds that we've already just recently planted, they're asking you to just pause in stillness for a while and just try. Just try to nurture these things. Try to send them some love. Air energy is air. These signs are ruled by the thoughts and the mind, and lots of times we get all these grand ideas, and putting them into earth, into reality can be hard, and sticking with them can be hard. And so that's the encouragement that you have for this current season, is that you actually lead into the things that you have already planted. And Spirit literally is just give it some time, give it a few weeks. See if you actually nurture these 1 or 2 things that you're working on, these projects, this home life, this relationship, whatever these things are, and let it play out and find some stillness, and find some calmness, and find some peace amongst the chaos and destruction that a lot of people around you might be experiencing because of Scorpio season. Let's pull another one. So let's get one for air. Oh, would you look at that? I love this card. Look how beautiful these are. This is the Hangman. So this is a major arcana card. And if you like to look, also the numbers. So this is the number 12 card. 1 + 2 is 3. Okay, so here's the thing about the Hangman. This goes right along with what I just said, because this is about somebody that's choosing to pause and surrender and have a change of perspective. They're choosing to do this because there's an opportunity for growth and potential. When I see this card come up, it is very much like permission to pause and surrender and just know for yourself it's okay to be in stillness and look at things from a different perspective, right? So Spirit is saying maybe the ways that we've always done things haven't exactly worked for us. If we don't have everything we want in life in every aspect of our life, then something's not working for us. So why would we not be willing to try something different? It's so funny how they say it in my head. It's kind of told you so, right? So everything we want because we think it's going to make us happy. And most people want what? They want health, they want money, they want relationships, they want all the things that you have to put time and energy into letting things grow, right? So Spirit is saying, like, pause, surrender, allow yourself to have a different fucking perspective for once. Be outside the box, view yourself from the outside source. Like, pause and say, okay, how this is something that's coming up. They're saying, like, try to take a second and like see how you're coming across to other people in like these situations and like in relationships in general. And then maybe be like, oh yeah, that's why that person's treating me like that. Or maybe that's why I'm not getting what I want out of the situation, right? So there's a little bit of accountability and responsibility. But again, the emphasis is very much like choosing to surrender and stop and pause, and then really saying, like, how can I look at this from a different viewpoint? And they're just saying, give it a few weeks. Literally, like, suck it up for like a month and just try to do things a little bit different and see the difference in your life and see. I guarantee if you've planted 5 seeds and you give this a month, Spirit's like 2 of them are going to stick. If you've planted 2 seeds and you really just give one of them a month, it's going to stick, right? But you have to be willing to look at things from a different point of view. You have to be willing to see things different. You have to be willing to shift your mindset. You have to be willing to like get out of your own fucking way. Okay, air signs. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. All right, next we have earth signs. So earth is Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. And you guys for Scorpio season got the 8 of Swords. So they're depicted as birds because birds are the messengers that carry messages, right? And air signs are about thought systems, the mind. So when I see the 8 of Swords, to me, this card literally says, like, your thoughts are what is fucking shit up for you right now. Like, the message came across a lot this year that, our thoughts are very powerful. And when you see a Swords card, you think, oh, it's fine. Like, the problem is just in my thoughts. I could change my thoughts. But in the same breath, if we could control our thoughts, we would all have everything that we ever wanted, right? Because our thoughts genuinely, really, in reality, dictate our reality. So when I see this card again, this card makes me think, like, this person has bound themselves. They've put themselves in this position. It's not as bad as they think it is. The original Rider Tarot deck, they're like, they have these like rags tied around them that are just loose around them. And if they just shook their arms, they could take off their blindfold and realize, like, the swords that are surrounding them aren't even having them in danger, right? And I love in this card too, how there's like a reflection, right? So it's almost like Spirit is saying, like, you earth signs, you are not stupid. Like, that your perspective on things is skewed. It almost feels like some of you are like well aware that you have a certain attachment style, or well aware that you have a certain trigger, or well aware that you have trauma. And I'm going to say this, it feels like a lot of you are choosing not to do the work around that, and choosing to let that control you, and choosing not to fix it. It feels like there's a very, very fitting stubborn energy around this. And you be fucking stubborn. Literally be stubborn. You ain't gonna be happy. It ain't gonna change. So what do you want? I posted this on social media not that long ago. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? Yes, we can be both. We can be both. More often than not, I am right. I am. Thank you. But there are some instances when I have to say, and I've gotten really good at it personally, it's fine. I'm not right. And I'd rather choose peace. I'd rather choose joy. I'd rather choose happiness than feel like I have to prove my point or let my ego get in the way. Okay. So earth signs, where the fuck are you getting in your own way with your thoughts and your refusal to let this like barrier down? It feels like I'm refusing to like let this barrier in my mind down to let people in because there's a lack of vulnerability that you're willing to have right now. So I might sneeze. The way the Holy Spirit gets out. No, I'm just kidding. Am I though? So let's pull another card. We have the 8 of Swords. What else do we need to know? I feel like we're getting really personal on that one. Yeah, like, I'm going to say this again. When you have these moments and these instances where you're reacting, you're aware that you're reacting, and you're choosing to react when you know better. And so you should be doing better. And nothing is going to shift and change until you decide to do better. Okay, what else do we got? The Hierophant. So we got a major arcana card. I love this depiction of the Hierophant. So if I'm going to say, what I really just get from this is that there is a higher lesson to be learning right now in this season for you. Spirit in general, the Hierophant is a card of student and teacher, and this just really feels like this is a great opportunity for you to learn from. I get like other people in general, like learn from relationships. Spirit is like, you could be taking every experience you're having, like with your, like, say, like your 5 closest relationships. This is real. This is magic how this is happening in my hand right now. Oh my gosh. The Spirit says, take like your 5 closest relationships and allow yourself to be a student in those and like learn and really check, how are you communicating in the relationships? How are you hindering the relationships? How are you holding yourself back, right? So like taking accountability for your participation in your life, in your relationships, and how these things are going, and really like looking at partner and being like, okay, how is this person triggering me and what can I learn from that? How is this person mirroring me and what can I be learning from that, right? Also, I get to like kid, right? Like, what about your kid drives you batshit crazy? And then Spirit says, okay, so that's a trigger. So let me think on that. Let me ponder on that. Like, how can I use the triggers of my relationships? How can I use my relationships mirroring me? How can I use those as teachers to me, right? So Scorpio season for you, allowing Spirit to show you parts of yourself and learning from the experiences of people around you. Like, you could say all you want that you didn't draw these experiences and these people towards you, or that they're not triggering you or they're not mirroring you, but they fucking are. They are. And until you learn to take responsibility, and you know that deep down that they are, right? But you have to be willing to step completely out of the mirror and like really step into this energy and look at yourself and say, okay, like I take responsibility for things in my life, then things aren't going to change for you, right? So if you allow your experiences and the people in your life to be your teachers in this season through this is the direction that we get to go. And we're going to Earth signs, love you. Water signs, Scorpio, happy birthday, Pisces and Cancer. Your card for Scorpio season is the Queen of Pentacles. I don't know, I feel like this might be a reoccurring message for my fellow water signs. My chart is 40% water. And it's about getting grounded, bitch. No. Okay, so let's look at her first off. Okay, so this is an Earth sign card, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This reading is for water signs, but this Pentacles card is that energy, right? Look at how content she looks. Look at how happy she looks. Like, she knows that she's that girl. Like that. Come on. Like, look at her. Look at her. There's 2 parts to this. The first part. Okay, so when we see the cards that are the court cards, this is about ourselves and the energy we need to embrace for ourselves, or about the energy of somebody else in our lives. It's both for water, right? Scorpio season can be very hard for water signs because water signs, we're picking up a lot more energy than everybody else, right? The intuitiveness, the empathy, all of that. In Scorpio season is when the veil is the most thin. It is a season of transformation and death and destruction. And so it is a very important time for very highly sensitive people to have to like take more care of themselves. And that is why it is so important to embody this kind of energy now and to surround yourself with this kind of energy. So there's a lot of information coming through about this. Practices for yourself, embodiment practices for yourself, things that make you feel grounded, doing things that make you feel safe, doing things that make you feel nurtured, doing things that make you feel like whole and safe in your body, right? If homemade chicken noodle soup nourishes you and makes you feel good, then you need to be eating more of that this month. If going to a yoga class and then sitting in the sauna for 30 minutes afterwards and then coming home and laying on your floor after your shower makes you feel grounded and good, that is what you need to be doing right now, right? So whatever things that you do that make you feel grounded and safe and held in your physical body, which therefore like helps our psyche slow down and our emotional side slow down, that is really, really important for you during this time, okay? Embodying this Queen of Pentacles, also allowing this kind of energy in your life, allowing people to nourish you, allowing people to hold you, allowing people to ground you, allowing support from other people. I could not speak more to this in my personal experience, that if I had not been vulnerable and allowed myself to lean on people to take care of me physically, emotionally, financially, if I had not been able to take my ego down when it came out for asking for help and things that I needed, I would not be okay right now, right? So I know water signs tend to be the caregivers. We tend to be the natural helpers. We feel other people's feelings and we understand why they act the way that they do. And so we want to help, but you have to be willing to take the same help that you give other people. You have to allow yourself to be held by other people. You have to allow yourself to be nurtured by other people. Like, this is a really important season for you when it comes to that. And even like the way that it's coming through, it comes through like very nurturing, very just like calm, very just like let people love on you, depend on people. Like, you have to let yourself depend on people. So I'm going to take note that the Hanged Man was upside down in the stack. That came out for another sign. Pause, surrender, allow yourself to have a different viewpoint, right? I think that is a big thing in general for everybody right now in this season of death and transformation and rebirth. And it's like the last little hump before we hit holidays, before we hit like the real deep winter and all of that stuff. And so really allowing ourselves to have a change and a shift in perspective and pausing and surrendering, that is the best way that we can help ourselves. Okay, let's see if we can get another one for water. What do we get? Four of Pentacles. It's another earth sign. But you know what I love? I love about this card in this depiction is that she's holding on to things, right? But I don't know, she's kind of looking away. She's kind of like, but at the end of the day, she looks really peaceful. She really does. Look how beautiful she is. She looks really peaceful. And I like how in this one, she's holding everything near and dear to her heart. In the original Rider Tarot deck, like she has the pentacles are like separated, right? And so if I'm adding this energy, first off, there's another fucking goddess queen in the picture, right? It's, where are you holding on to things too tight? Where are you holding on to relationships too tight? Where are you holding on to people too tight? Where are you literally like clutching your pearls? That's what I hear in my head. Like, where are you holding on where you could literally like release resistance and get out of your own head and get out of your own way? I said this in an earlier video. We control our thoughts. We control our thoughts, right? We are responsible for how we feel. And if you feel like you're losing control out of outside sources, if you feel like, sometimes it almost as a water sign and other signs when you're empathetic and you feel so much many other people's energy and shit, you feel like you don't have control, but you do have control of your thoughts. You do have control of the way that you think about things. I had a beautiful reading that I got from somebody a few months ago that was just like the most beautiful, life-changing messages that I needed at that exact time and space. And they talked about how a lot of my gifts and a lot of the things I experience, on one hand, I have so much gratitude for them and I see all the beauty in them. Then the other hand, they feel like a curse, right? And it's about the mindset and me choosing to not think about my sensitivities and not think about my painful, empathetic ways as a negative thing. And I have the right and I have the ability and I have the choice to choose the way that I feel about those things, right? And so that is, I could say the same thing over and over again 10 different times, but I won't. Be conscious of your thoughts. And when other people's thoughts come in, this is not mine, I'm going to let it go. A negative thought comes in, this is not mine, I'm going to let it go. It's almost like snapping the rubber band, right? When you have these thoughts, stop, pause, and choose a better thought. And take back control of your own feelings, your own energy, your own emotions. I'm listening to myself. All right. Last but not least, we have a fire sign. So we have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And I love it. I love it for you. You got the wheel. Card number 10. So that's 1 if you like to do math or look at the numerology of things. I'm looking at I love how she has the dice around her neck. There you go. And she looks like she's just like, I feel like she's just up there and she just is like, it's like she knows this energy of like, I just know that everything's working out for me. I just know that things are great. I feel like this person is willing to take a chance. Like, look, they're so confident. Look at that tree pose. Like that is great. Like they're stacked on all of their fate and everything, and they're projecting this out of their hands. Actually, my eyes are going to look how there's like a duality. There's like black and white, right? So and she's so happy. Look at her. Look at her so happy. Okay, here's the thing, fire signs. This is the way I literally feel it and hear it is like, why just let yourself have fun? Just let yourself have faith. Let yourself be joyous, right? Just because there's destruction around you, just because the world literally feels like it's falling apart half the time, like just because your natural reaction too is to light shit on fire and to be passionate to go. It's like we're just saying, like, why can't we cultivate that, and why can't we like make that happiness? Why can't we take that energy and put it towards joy? Why can't we have this positive outlook? Like there are karmic cycles. Okay, there's 2 parts to it. First off, when little things are coming up that are biting you in the ass, spirit is almost saying like you have the ability to like laugh and be like, I know I did this. That's not bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like personally, I'll do something like I say, there's never been like a choice that I made that was like a bad choice that I wasn't well aware that I was making that choice. And then when the consequences happened, I was like, well, I knew that was going to happen. So like, I'm not even mad. It's that kind of energy, right? So it's almost like a mocking energy of like, when shit does go away or it doesn't work out, you kind of are like, did it to myself. So like there's an encouragement and some joy around that. But in the same breath, like when it comes to that, they're saying like there is a part of you that is like makes a joke out of things or doesn't take things serious, you know, because that softer side you don't let out. But like there are really beautiful, great things that you have done, that you have put into this earth, that you have put into the collective energy that you pour into other people. You are softer and you have bigger hearts than you think. And like karmically, like allow those things to come back. This is like another message. It's different than my water sign where it's like allowing people to come in and nurture you, but it's more like allowing people to see that like softer, more feminine energy side of you, right? Like the nurturing, the loving, the caring. Like it's like this. There could be an example where it's like you put all this time and energy and you organize like this giant event and you like helped feed like 1,000 people in the community. And it was like, you know, I'm this drill sergeant, I'm this leader, I just get shit done. Like that's just what I do. But Spirit's like, you did that because you have a big heart and because you care about people and you love people. Just because you do it in an aggressive way, like it's like you're not even recognizing or understanding that there is like a huge part of you that is sweet and caring and does lead from the heart, right? And so acknowledging that part of you of like, no, hey, like I deserve softness, I deserve peace, I deserve gentleness, I deserve love, I deserve to be held. Like, you know, this is a card of like of karma and things circling back around. It's a card of fate, it's a card of destiny, it's a card of good luck, right? So like allowing yourself to like believe in like, I hear that song, it was a fairy. Like allowing yourself to like believe in fucking fairies and peace and joy and like lightness and childlike wonder. Let's see what else. Oh, that's not gonna work. Like 3 tried to come out. We're not doing that. This one more for fire signs. King of Wands. You're still the fire. Like, okay, Wands is literally the fucking fire. The fire. It's fire. The king, he has mastered everything that goes along with fire, the creativity, the passion, the drive, the hard work. I'm trying to get you to see. It's sunlight is doing magical things in here. This is a reminder, like you are this person, like literally like his burning crown, the lion in the back, like it's almost like the lion is like his, his familiar, right? Like you are that person. You do know how to do all the passionate, fiery things. Like when push comes to shove, you're going to be successful. You're going to win. You're going to be able to, if you want, you can always go back to that energy of burning shit down and fire energy, but that doesn't always serve you. And right now, know that that part of you can like protect you and embrace you, but like we don't always have to be this person. We can let our vulnerability show, we can let our softness show, we can lead from the heart and know that like at the back of it, like we've mastered this and we can always come back to this person and always come back to this energy, right? I feel like there's been a lot of that for fire signs lately where it's like asking you to, I think in general too, this whole reading is a lot of like this outside perspective change and really allowing people to see all parts of us and all aspects of us and not just the parts that we feel comfortable showing, that we feel safe showing. And we only show those parts because there's a fear that if we show the other parts, we won't be loved. It's scary to be vulnerable, right? And so there is a really big collective message for everybody of like allowing your full, true, authentic self to be seen by everybody, right? If you don't want your freak flags by freaks that or match your freak can't find you, whatever that saying is.